When a billionaire loses more money in a single year than most companies are worth, you know something catastrophic is happening. This isn't just about market volatility or bad quarterly results. This is about the systematic destruction of one of the most valuable business empires in modern history. And the man at the center of it all might have just triggered his own downfall. Elon Musk has lost an unprecedented $80 billion from his net worth in 2025 alone, bringing his wealth down to approximately $352 billion from its peak of over $450 billion. But here's what makes this story truly extraordinary. The money is just the beginning of his problems. What we're witnessing is the complete unraveling of Musk's carefully constructed image as the world's most innovative entrepreneur, replaced by something far more dangerous to his business empire, a toxic brand that customers are actively rejecting. The numbers tell a devastating story. Tesla, the crown jewel of Musk's empire, representing his largest asset through a 13% stake, has seen its stock plummet nearly 20% this year. The company posted a double-digit revenue drop in the second quarter of 2025, with automotive revenue falling 16% year-over-year to $16.66 billion. Vehicle deliveries dropped 14% to 384,000 units, marking back-to-back quarterly declines for the first time since 2022. But the financial metrics only scratch the surface of Tesla's crisis. The Axios-Harris brand reputation poll reveals the true extent of the damage. Tesla has crashed from 8th place in 2021 to an astounding 95th place in 2025, below scandal-plagued companies like BP, responsible for the Deepwater Horizon disaster, Volkswagen, with its diesel emission scandal, and United Health Group. Tesla now ranks 98th in trust and ethics, 99th in citizenship, and dead last in character. This reputation collapse isn't happening in a vacuum. It's the direct result of Musk's political involvement, which has triggered unprecedented backlash against his companies. The vandalism and protests targeting Tesla properties have reached alarming levels. FBI investigations now cover incidents ranging from Molotov cocktails thrown at Tesla dealerships in Colorado, Oregon, and South Carolina, to arson attacks that destroyed 17 vehicles in Rome, to charging stations set on fire in Massachusetts. The scope of this coordinated backlash is staggering. A survey by Guardian Service found that 46% of Tesla owners report their vehicles being vandalized, with 72% of current owners worrying they're more likely to be targeted than drivers of other brands. The geographical spread shows 46% of vandalized vehicles are in southern states, 22% in the Northeast, 21% in the West, and 11% in the Midwest. Perhaps most telling, 30% of Tesla owners say they won't replace their current vehicle with another Tesla. The business impact extends far beyond individual incidents. Tesla sales plummeted 76% in Germany in February, with similar dramatic declines across Europe: 45% in France, 42% in Sweden, 48% in Norway, and 70% in Australia. Tesla's consumer loyalty dropped from around 70% in 2020 to just 49.9% by March 2025. Some Tesla owners have resorted to placing bumper stickers reading, "I bought it before Elon went nuts," to avoid harassment. Musk's political gambles have also put at risk approximately $48 billion in potential government revenue over the next decade. The escalating feud with President Trump threatened to terminate SpaceX's federal contracts, worth about $22 billion, including NASA's $5 billion contract for Dragon spacecraft operations and Starlink's $14 billion in government service agreements. While the Trump administration ultimately found most SpaceX contracts too vital to cancel, the review process highlighted the dangerous vulnerability of building a business empire so dependent on government relationships. The situation becomes even more precarious when examining Musk's newest venture, xAI. The artificial intelligence startup is burning through an astronomical $1 billion per month, expecting to spend $13 billion in 2025 while generating only $500 million in revenue. This represents a 26-to-1 spending ratio that has raised serious questions about the sustainability of Musk's AI ambitions.
Despite raising $14 billion in equity since 2023, XAI had only $4 billion remaining by the end of March 2025. The competitive landscape has also shifted dramatically against Musk's companies. Tesla faces intensifying pressure from Chinese EV manufacturers and established automakers expanding their electric offerings. The company's aging product lineup and delayed autonomous driving features have weakened its market position just as rivals are gaining ground.
SpaceX, while maintaining market leadership in launches, confronts growing competition from companies like Blue Origin and international space agencies at a time when political relationships have become uncertain. What makes this crisis particularly dangerous for Musk is how it's created a self-reinforcing cycle of decline. Political controversies damage business performance, leading to financial losses that reduce his influence and ability to recover. His declining public favorability, now at just 30% in polling, limits his ability to attract the customers and investors who were previously drawn to his personal brand. Industry analysts warn that Musk's political activities have become a fundamental distraction from his core businesses at the worst possible time. Dan Ives of Wedbush Securities noted that Musk diving deeper into politics and now trying to take on the Beltway establishment is exactly the opposite direction that Tesla investors and shareholders want him to take. The broader implications extend beyond Musk's personal wealth to questions about corporate governance and the risks of building business empires around individual personalities. When a CEO's political activities can trigger such widespread damage to multiple companies employing hundreds of thousands of people, it raises fundamental questions about accountability and corporate responsibility. For the United States, Musk's troubles also highlight dangerous dependencies in critical industries. SpaceX provides the only American capability to transport astronauts to the International Space Station, while Starlink has become essential for Ukraine's defense against Russian invasion. The company is also building hundreds of spy satellites for the Pentagon under classified agreements. This level of dependency on a single individual's companies creates national security vulnerabilities that extend far beyond normal business risks. The convergence of financial losses, reputational damage, political controversies, and operational challenges represents an unprecedented threat to one of the world's most influential business empires. Unless Musk can successfully separate his political activities from his business operations and rebuild damaged relationships with customers, investors, and government partners, he risks losing not just money, but the technological and commercial influence that made him one of the world's most powerful individuals. What we're witnessing isn't just the story of a billionaire losing money.
It's a case study in how personal brand and business success can become so intertwined that political miscalculations threaten to bring down an entire empire. For Musk, the question now isn't whether he can afford these losses. It's whether his companies can survive the toxic association with his personal brand long enough for him to find a way back.